The Gauteng Department of Sport, Arts and Culture and Recreation will be sending a team to represent South Africa at the TriColor Games taking place in Italy later this month. A team of 132 young athletes from across Gauteng, aged 16 and under, will join the more than 1,000 other athletes from over 20 countries. They will, for the first time in their lives, have an opportunity to compete at such a high level with their counterparts from across the globe. The 7th edition of the TriColor Games themed Sports Can Change People, People Can Change the World takes place from the 24th to the 30th of this month in the city of Reggio Emilia. Team Gauteng will take part in chess, football, rugby, basketball, swimming and athletics. Now, this will only be the second time the province is part of the games, which take place every 4 years. The first time was in 2018, where they sent 90 athletes. We are joined by Nomazwe Ntlokwane from the Department of Sport and Recreation in Gauteng to talk to us about that. Nomazwe, thank you very much for coming through. I guess a lot of excitement looking at the youngsters who will be going to represent South Africa and saying for the first time ever competing at this level.
Oh, yes. Good evening, Kwena, and good evening to the viewers. It is a proud moment indeed for Gauteng, the home of champions. 132 young people going down all the way to Italy to represent not just our own province, but they will also be representing South Africa. Because when the last time we were at Reggio Emilia was in 2018, where we actually took down a lesser number of young people to participate and represent us there. Yes, so on the 22nd at OR Tambo Airport, we are once more taking down a strong team of champions from our own province to go and fly not just the flag of Gauteng high, but also to fly the flag of South Africa very high.
Let's talk about the selection process. You're talking about 132 athletes, and we're talking about youngsters under the age of 16. Where and how are they chosen, or how do they qualify to be part of the team?
We actually selected these young people during our OR Tambo Sonchini Games. Last year, we have these games on an annual basis, but you would know that the TriColor Games take place every 2 years. However, this time they actually took longer to take place again because of the conditions that we come from. We are really excited that this strong team of young people, the first ones were directly selected from the OR Tambo Sonchini Games, but of course the federations were also given an opportunity to select those young people from the province that they know for sure are not going to disappoint us. And of course, having seen the smiles on the faces of those young people at Brixton Multipurpose Center yesterday, I am confident that those young people are going to represent us, and they are really going to represent us well.
Now, this is a multidisciplined event that is taking place in Reggio Emilia. What does this mean in the bigger scheme of things? Because we are talking about young people. Are we looking at, making sure that these youngsters, when they come back, they get the experience to participate at an even higher level and represent the South Africa at an even higher level of the game?
You know, Kwena, one thing for sure, Gauteng is the home of champions, and we really pride ourselves in that, because if you look at the national teams, if there is Team SA that's going down to Cape Town in July to participate in the Netball World Cup, if you look at the overall number of players that are there, the majority is coming from Gauteng. If you look at the Banyana squad that will be playing down in the FIFA Women's World Cup, the majority of players that are in that team are coming from our province. So really, what we are doing as a department, as the Gauteng provincial government, is to continue to create an enabling environment for young people to excel in sport. Because what we do know is that these days, young people are no longer just using sport as a by the way. Some young people are now taking sport as a career. And we are right there to assist them, hold their hands, of course, working with the various federations. We would like to see a majority of the young people that are going down to Italy on Saturday, actually being a part of some of the major teams that are there in our province and in our country. And indeed, we have seen quite a number of those excelling before. And of course, we want to continue ensuring that we develop as well as create these champions that we are looking at as the Gauteng provincial government.
Now, how important is it for Gauteng as a province, as you say, to be sending a team? Because I'm looking at the fact that, does this mean that we have like a Western Cape or a Limpopo sending their own team, or is it Gauteng that is representing South Africa in the TriColor Games?
Oh yes, you are quite correct, Kwena. The team that is leaving on Saturday, all those young people are coming from Gauteng. And as Gauteng, the home of champions, we are also the defending champions of the schools' championships. And I think you can clearly see that we are laying a solid foundation from school sport level, where we are ensuring that these young people are developed at that level, and they do not only end up in our own soil as Gauteng. We are even able to take them outside outside Gauteng and also outside South Africa to go and shine there. I mean, yesterday we had parents, we had mothers, we had fathers, we had grannies of some of these young people who were really quite excited to see their young ones actually being recognized and honored as gems that will be coming from Gauteng. And of course, it is very important for us because we know that everything starts in Gauteng.
Right.
You know that.
No,
so we really pride ourselves in that we continue to develop and nurture the talent that comes from our province.
We're unfortunately out of time, but let's leave it there. Nomazan Tlokwane, the spokesperson for the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture in Gauteng, talking to us about a 132 strong team that is going to represent South Africa at the TriColor Games in Reggio Emilia in Italy.